Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So today it's Abu Bakr and I'm back with you again. I'm getting to the blackboard and we'll be using it to learn the Arabic language. So we have the word Damirun. This word means pronoun. And then we have the word Damirun, which means pronouns. So Damirun and Damairu. So we have Damairu and we have Damirun. Damairu is the what? The plural, and then Damirun is the what? Singular. So one pronoun, multiple pronouns. And basically in Arabic we have two main types of pronouns. We have the first type, which is al-muttasila, and then we have al-munfasila. So al-muttasila, al-damair, al-muttasila. And then we have al-damair, al-munfasila. Al-munfasila. So these are the two main types that we have. So which ones are we going to focus on? They are these ones. Those are the ones we are going to focus on. So al-muttasila here means the pronouns which are basically joined to the noun. So you remember we learned the parts of speech. We learned ismun, we learned fi'lun, we learned harfun. So if you find any pronoun which is damir, you might either find it standing alone as a pronoun or joined to another word. In this case, that word could either be a what? It could either be a fi'lun, a harfun, or an ismun. Do you understand? So it can either be a noun, a verb, or a particle. Whichever of the three parts of speech we learned, we could join those to a pronoun. So we are not going to learn those, but I will give some examples of those here. So for example, if you have something like ismuhu, ismuhu in this case means his name. So the first part is ismu, his name. So ismu is name, right? And then who, which has been added to it, is what? His. So ismuhu, his name. So in this case, this ha is the what? Is the damir. So it is what? Muttasil, because it is joined to the noun. Do you understand? So that's a basic example of it. And then if we say damir and munfasil, we mean a stand-alone what? A stand-alone pronoun. And in this case, we have many, and those are the ones we are learning today. So we have an example like ana, I. And then we have an example like whom, which means they. So we will focus on these ones and leave these ones for future lessons. And over time, we'll be learning them more and more, inshallah. So we are going to start. So as I stated earlier, the board is clean and we are going to now learn what? Al-Damair. Now, which type of the Al-Damair did I say we are learning? We'll be learning Al-Damair Al-Munfasila. So those will be the stand-alone pronouns. So Al-Damair. Now, we'll start with explaining the three classes of Al-Damair. Basically, we have, just like in English, first person, second person, and then third person, right? Just like in English. So first person, that's the speaker, the one who is talking. So that is called al-mutakallim. Al-mutakallim. And then we have the second person. So this is the first person, right? And then we have the second person, which is al-mukhatab. So this is the second person. Now we have the third person. So first person being the person speaking, second person being the person addressed, the one being talked to. So that is the listener. That's why we say al-mukhatab, someone who is being what's spoken to. And then we have the third person, which is the person outside of the active conversation. So the person is the passive voice, the third voice, right? And that is al-ghaib. Ghaib in the Arabic language means someone who is absent. But in this case, when we are talking about al-ghaib, we don't mean someone who is absent from the room, but basically someone who is absent within the conversation. So it's the one which these two will inevitably reference. You understand? So they will point, both of these people, the first person speaking, the second person listening, who will be speaking about the third person. So you understand? So these are the main voices within ad-dama'ir, or the classifications of ad-dama'ir. So we have first person, second, third. Who are these people? So we are going to label right beneath. So we have, as we stated earlier, singular, plural. But don't forget, in Arabic we also have dual, which is two. So in this case, we have the first person, the speaker. And in English we have I. In Arabic we simply say ana, ana, or ana. That's I. And then we have nahnu. And then you are done. So you have your first person, another first person. Here. Nahnu and ana. Nahnu meaning we, ana meaning I. So this one is singular, this one is plural. And in this case, there's no dual, which means whether it's two or more people, they will use nahnu. So if I say, for example, ana tilmidun, I am a student, which I am. If we are more than two, I will use nahnu. If we are two or more, we will use what? Nahnu. So now I want to say we are students, but in this case we are two students. What am I saying? Am I saying ana tilmidun? No, I'll say nahnu. But in this case, students will take what? The dual form. So we'll say nahnu tilmidani, because I'm a man or I'm a male. So nahnu tilmidani. I would assume I'm talking about what? Two guys. So the two of us are students. Nahnu tilmidani. What if we are three or more? We'll still use nahnu, which is the pronoun. But then what will we use it with? We are going to now use it with nahnu talamidun, because that is three or more students in this regard. So nahnu talamidun, we are students, and in this case it means we are three or more students. It means if the number is three students or three people or more, you will use talamidun rather than tilmidani, which means two. Now let's cut off